Hi everyone, I'm Zilla Blitz, and welcome to episode 2 in our playthrough of the Barbarossa Scenario with No Retreat, the Russian Front from Avalon Digital. If you missed episode 1, I'll put a link to it right up over my head. We played 2 turns in the first episode, taking us up to the fall of 1941. We're on turn 3 right now, which is the September-October turn, and rain and mud has become Russia. So our advances will start to slow down as we try to continue driving eastward. Now, what are we trying to do? We're trying to win this scenario, and it's a 7-turn scenario, so we have 5 turns left. In order to win it, we have 2 pathways to victory. One would be to get 21 victory points, basically meaning for the most part we have to take 21 Russian cities, although there are some other ways that we can get victory points or lose victory points that we'll probably run into as we play this scenario a little bit more. So broadly speaking, if we can capture 5 more Russian cities, we're on the doorstep of victory here. So we don't necessarily have to make a singular thrust. We can kind of keep generally sweeping eastward and perhaps pick up the victory. But Russian resistance is definitely getting stronger. A second pathway to victory is to capture Moscow, and we've got a good way to go and forests in the way which really are going to slow us down. Capture Moscow and one other objective, major objective, being either Leningrad in the north or one of these whitely labeled cities down here, Sevastopol, Grozny, or Stalingrad. Of those 3, it certainly seems like Sevastopol would be the closest and most possible of those, but I kind of like the idea of a broad advance. Let's see if we can get the 21 victory points and win that way. Now, what are we trying to do as we get into our 3rd turn here? Let's take a look at the south and then the north in turn, and then we'll dig right into the action. So down here in the south, we have cut off this 5-3 Russian infantry corps. I'm not quite sure yet how out of supply works. It says it's going to be eliminated at the end of the turn. I'm not sure it means that the Russians are going to have one more turn to resupply it, and I'm not sure how aggressively or how successful they would be. Definitely want to take this out, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, a surrendered unit like that goes out of supply perhaps results in a victory point for us. So that could be a nice, as good as getting a city, for one thing. How to handle this? Well, I'd like to see if we can slide into Odessa with this infantry. I'm not sure that's going to be possible with the muddy movement. And then perhaps hit these 4-3 infantry corps and 3-3 mechanized corps just outside of Kharkov, push them back to give no hope to resupply this 5-3 infantry corps that is cut off. We do have to watch out a little bit for this mechanized corps down here outside of Dnipropetrovsk for the Russians as well, but I'm hopeful that doesn't become too bold. In the north, another story. What do we do? It doesn't look like, I don't think we have enough forces to drive on Leningrad and Moscow. It just feels like, I mean, we have 6 units, they have 4, another one up in Leningrad, and they're going to get reinforcements. I feel like we're going to be grinding to a stalemate here at some point, unless we got more reinforcements on the way. But what I'm thinking we can do is we can hold the line up here by Riga and along the Dvina River here, and then maybe take these units and push to Smolensk, which would get us within striking distance of Moscow and give us more interesting decisions. So I think we're going to push in the center and hold in the north, because I don't think we have enough forces to push everywhere. With that being said, let's jump right now into the action and pick up this 3rd turn, September, October. The first we have to do is decide whether we want to play this Gott mit uns card, but this says we can ignore initiative requirements when playing events this turn. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think in this scenario, the first 11 turns, I think the Germans have the initiative every turn anyway, so I'm going to pass on this, and we are going to start playing our turn, because I think I'd rather use that card for like a counter blow or perhaps some reinforcements. Now we're in the organization phase. Do we have any things that's going to happen here? I don't see any choices for us here. So I'm going to advance that. We go to land movement. Alrighty, let's see what we can do down here in the south. We can get to Odessa. Let's do it. So we'll bring him into, oops, we got to click there. Odessa falls to us. That will be excellent if we can hold that. And that cuts off this other infantry unit here too, this infantry corps. Very nice. Now what can we do? We can't go anywhere with this armor. We could move up with this armor, which I think is a good move. This armor can slide over, and this infantry can slide over as well. We want to be careful that we don't cut ourselves off either. But I think if we go like this, if we move this infantry here, up here, that will give us 10 to 4. That's not quite 3 to 1, is it? It's not quite what we want there. But we could do this here, and then I think we would still be okay, because this out of supply unit does not have zones of control. It's a little bit risky, but yes, let's go this way. We're going to move up in here, and I think we can move this infantry here, and I think everything is going to be okay. I think our line will hold. I think we'll keep these units cut off, and I think we can push back these forces here. So that's our move down here. Let's come up here and see what we can do. I'd like to get 2 3-to-1 attacks here, and I think we can do that if we go here and here with our army, and then click on this, go here, and then this goes here. And I don't think that leaves us with a hole. I think we are okay. And that, I like that for movement. Then we just have to figure out our attacks. Let's move forward here. Select hexes to attack. We do not want to attack 3 against 4 up here in the north, but we do want to attack here, 9 to 3, which would be a 3-to-1 attack. We do want to attack here, 11 to 3, which is a 3-to-1 attack. And now we need to sort out the odds down here. Is there a way we can get... we cannot get more than a 2-to-1 attack, but I think we can use support here to push it up. So we will do that. And here we've got a 6/6 second, 3rd Panzer, and then a 5. So it doesn't perhaps matter too much. Let's go, we will attack here for one thing, and then we're going to attack here. So those are our choices. Then we're going to have to assign them in the next turn. Is everybody assigned? They are. Looking pretty good. Okay, so now we have to designate our units to attack. I will do that off camera, and then I'll be right back once we get those assigned. Ooh, they put a counter blow here. Okay, so I can see by color here, we've got a 9 to 3 on the north here, so that's a 3-to-1. We've got 11 to 3, which is a 3-to-1 down here. We've got 4, and then for this one here, I allocated our 2nd Panzer, 2nd Army, so we still have 9 to 4, which is 2-to-1, but I think we can put some support on that. Then in here, we have 7 and... what else have we got here for this one? 7 and 6, 13 to 3, that's a 4-to-1. So that should be good. And then over here, we've got 6 to 5, which is 1-to-1, but we will put supports here. So I think we're in good shape there. And I want to make sure we can't. The support comes, I think, in the next turn. All right, choose battle to resolve. I want to add support here, and I think we do that now, right? But let's start up north here, where things are a little bit more promising. Resolve battle. Can we add support, or is that... did I miss that phase? That would be a bummer. Resolve battle. Declare offensive supports. We do not want to do it here. Oh, we do have a card we could use. What is this? Add 1 extra hex to your unit's total allowance after combat move. Nah, I don't want to do that. Oh, maybe. We'll think. Hang on. No, I think we want to save that for the south here. We want to save extra movement on the ring. So we're just going to go ahead and attack here then. So we'll skip that part. Die roll is a 5. That's good. What happened? Retreat. Oh, and it's shattered, which is excellent. Let's advance after combat. Our infantry can push up here. That's excellent. And our armor, where can it go? Same place. We're going to pass. We won't advance after that. So we are on the doorstep of, what is this? I forget now. It's not Minsk, because Minsk is over there. There's a way to hide the hexes here. Nope, hide the units here. There we go. Smolensk. Okay, so we're on the doorstep of Smolensk here. Let's continue our successful attacks up here. We've got 11 to 4, 3-to-1. That's good. Let's resolve battle. We are not going to put any supports on this. And let's just do it. Oh, 1 is not good. Partial counter blow. Okay, partial advance. Nothing happened. Okay. But there's a counter blow there, so I think that means they... I'm not sure what that means. I'm still a little fuzzy on those, actually. Okay, now down here, what do we want to do first? Let's do this one here, which is a good one for us. It is 3-to-1, 4-to-1 attack. Declare offensive supports. We will spend this card here, which is got to a little bit extra advance if we get through here, which I think could be helpful. Let's get a nice... 2's not good, but it should still be helpful. Defender retreat. Excellent. It retreated to Kharkov, and we can advance. This unit can push up. We will definitely do that. And we will leave this unit there. That was it. So the mud is slowing us down here. We get no advance after that. Pushing him back to Kharkov is good, but I was hoping for more. Now, we want to come over here, I guess, which is 1-to-1, but we definitely want to use a support in here for this one. So, oh, that's advance after combat. We are done. Choose a battle. Let's come here. It is 1-to-1, but we want to add a support. Declare offensive supports. Support. Makes it 3-to-2. Okay, that's a little better. We need a good die roll here. Let's go get a good die roll. Oh, a 2 is not a good die roll. No effect. Okay, actually, that's fine. No effect is absolutely fine for us. We'll take that. That's not bad at all. And now down here, we have a 2-to-1, and we are going to support, making it a 3-to-1, and let's hit them hard. All right, map filters. Declare. Oh, 1. What terrible rolls we got. Counterblow. They are going to do counterblow, which is nothing. Eliminated units out of supply. Now we've got 2 of these Russian units out of supply, which is very good. And we get to draw for reaction on the axis here. Okay, so we're going to the Soviet turn now, but this is our reaction. Play anytime 2 cards, draw a reaction. Okay, just trying to get a sense for what's going on here now. Oh, we can play a card against them. Discard 1 card at random from the Soviet hand. Yes, we'll play that. I feel like this is a big turn. Excellent. So they lose a card, -1. They're down to 4 cards. Very good. Organization cards used. They are building up the defense of Leningrad, which I think doesn't really bother us. Land movement for the Soviets. What are they doing? Get reinforcements into Moscow. Reinforcements into Sevastopol. All in all, that's not too bad. I would love to see these Russian units. So it does look like at the end of their turn, they will be cut off. They're retreating. Moving up here. Retreating. They moved right into Smolensk, but that's okay. They're falling back across the river towards Leningrad. Excellent. Fall back, Russians. Defending Dnipro. They're going to attack down here? That could be nasty. Pulling down this mechanized unit. They trying to get those units back in supply? Did they do that? Select enemy hex to attack. We have to attack. Place friendly counterblow on units next to the enemy. Okay. Okay. Boy, I'm a little bit confused as to what's happening, but I think they've gotten these units back into supply. But I think we can cut them off by bringing our armor around here too, which would be outstanding. So maybe it's getting extremely risky in the south here. I feel like this is either going to succeed or this could hinge, our whole campaign could hinge on the south here. But place a friendly counterblow units on next to the enemy, 0-3. We could do this. Where do we want to force them to attack? We've already got 2 right here. We could make them attack us again. How about right here? Let's do that, because we have cards to burn, right? We're not going to use these cards. We have to discard some of them anyway. So how about 1 right there? And any place else? I think that's... Can I put it here too and make them attack both of us? That would be sweet. Let's try that. Okay. Yeah, so now we -2 cards, -2 counterblows. We have to give up 2 cards. Gott mit us is 1. And then, I should have done... Oh, that's a Soviet card. So we'll get rid of those too. Perfect. All right. Then, let's see what they do. They have to attack us. Okay, 3 against 7. That should be a bad attack. We can declare defensive supports. Combat result is automatically a counterattack that must be mandatorily conducted. That would be 11-3. That actually is pretty good because that gives us a 3-1 on Smolensk. Maybe we can take it. Let's play that card. Let's go for it. See what happens. So it's... Oh, they got a 6-2, which was a good roll for them. Counterattack. And... no effect. We got a 1. We have rolled so many 1s on these forces here. All right. 5-5. We got a... Okay, step loss there. Die roll 3 against 7. Detrain, nothing. Attacks are getting calculated. So somehow, are these units back in supply? Oh, Pearl Harbor happened. In the middle of all this, so we lose a victory point. -1. So we are at what now? If we look at this, we're going to drawing our new cards up here. Hang on one second. So many things going on. All right, we're up to 5 cards. We'll sit there now. But I think, what are we at? 16. Yeah, we gained another city because we took Odessa, but the turn event cards means we lost one because of that turn event, the Pearl Harbor. So we're back down to 16 with 4 turns to go. And these units did not die, and snow has fallen. It's winter. Where are we now? We are in November, December, okay, of 1941, which makes sense. Pearl Harbor, of course. So, what can we do with winter falling now? How does this impact us? Snow is movement's limited to 4 points, 1 defensive shift for the Soviets, so they get a stronger defensive shift, but rivers have no defensive value. I'm wondering why these units that were out of supply did not get eliminated, though. I felt like they never got back in supply, unless they're trailing it over this unit here, and maybe it just hasn't been marked that way. Okay. We'll think for a second here. So I figured out the Russian supply here. If you click on the unit, of course, you can click on the supply path. They're getting supplied through this mechanized unit. A good move by the Soviets to bring this unit up, because now they're getting supplied through Dnipropetrovsk. But if we cut Dnipropetrovsk off, then we cut all of these units off, which could put them in dire straits here, especially if we can keep our units in supply, which could be risky, but I think this is where the whole campaign is going to hinge on. If we can cut these units off and wipe them out, I think we could be in good shape. Look at this. This is interesting here. Kesselschlacht. Play during your detrain step is to eliminate a Soviet unit that is going to be out of supply at the end of the turn. We are keeping that one. That looks like a perfect card for us. And up here, Hans Guderian, the result of a 2-to-1 or better attack is automatically a defender retreat, which we can use on another unit that has no place to retreat, perhaps really hammering these units down here. Because if we could bring this armor into Dnipropetrovsk down here, bring this mechanized units to keep the supply chain, then, oh, these units are now all in supply. Okay. Oh, that pesky mechanized unit. But we're going to cut them all off and wipe them all out. We're going to definitely do this because they haven't got too much they can try to resupply with here. So we will be bold. We're going to smash this pocket right here, wipe all these troops out, and then drive to Stalino and Kharkov. That's our bold plan. And then up here, we are going to most certainly attack Smolensk, despite the winter weather here, because we get 15-3, 5-1, and we can start to advance up in the north here. Okay, anyway, we got to discard a card. Back to what I was doing. This one here, play during a support as against a Soviet attack, defender retreat. We'll just, yeah, get rid of that one. That seems to be pretty good. Go to next phase. Yep, land movement. Here we go. Okay, so I'll take a moment and move our forces up, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, things are getting interesting. I've got a very thin line up here north of Riga after we're done moving up here. I hope these units don't get bold and counterattack. I suspect they might. We might need to swing some reinforcements up here, but I want to get Smolensk. We've got a ton of forces down here to attack Smolensk down here. Then we've pulled some more infantry armies over here to attack this weakened Russian infantry here, which would open up the doorway to Kharkov and Vorozhne. But more importantly, down in the south, I swung this armor unit through Dnipropetrovsk, taking it for us, giving us 17 victory points now. And then we've got this pocket completely surrounded. And I think we can use these cards to wipe, well, we'll see how this goes. But my plan is we can use this card here to get that automatic defender retreat on this mechanized unit. And because it has no place to retreat, I think it's eliminated. Then we can use that other card in the D-train step to wipe out this other 5-3 infantry unit, which will leave this unit here, give us a nice wall, and we can push on towards Kharkov and these other cities to the south. That's the plan. We'll see how this works. I feel like this is going to go sideways somehow, but we are done moving now, I believe. I'm a little bit nervous about our northern edge. Wish we had reinforcements. We don't. They have units coming in. But okay, so we're done with land movement. Select enemy hexes to attack. Yes, by all means. So that one right here. I guess this has to counterblow anyway. Maybe that's why it's already got there. We're going to go 1 here. Let's go. So we got 13 and 7. What was our card? I'm going to just think for a second here. So, all right, so I've designated this attack on Smolensk. We've got here, we've got 9 and 7, 16-3, 5-1, -1 because of the winter, 4-1. And the city, I think, makes it 3-1. It's still not going to be easy, but it still looks pretty good. So we're attacking there. I think the counterblow means that has to happen. Then we're attacking this weakened infantry unit here, hopefully taking that out of action. Down here, we're going to use this Guderian card to try to wipe out this mechanized infantry. Then we're going to try to wipe this one out, and then maybe we can use the supply card to wipe this whole pocket out in one fell swoop. This could be glorious for us. Anyway, okay, we've attacked 3 places. Now we have to designate our units. So let's get busy. Are they picking a counterblow somewhere? They are. They're making us counterblow against this unit here. Okay, we'll figure this out. Alrighty, so we're going to attack everything, these 3 units on Smolensk, these 2 units on this infantry here. I'm going to use the old classic soak-off here for this 5-3. They're making us attack with this counterblow. I'm going to have these, are these the Romanians? Yeah, the 3rd Romanian army is going to go at 1 against 3 odds, the old soak-off. We're sending the Romanians to their deaths here. And then 9-3, 3-1, 2-1, that's going to be okay, I think. And that, maybe we actually probably shouldn't have attacked there. Oh well, too late. Then we're going to do a big attack down here and use that Guderian card. So now I think we are ready to go. Let's move on. Choose a battle to resolve. Let's start down here with this one right here. We are going to resolve battle, and I want to use that card because wait, what are the odds? 2-1. Yeah, so we can use it. We're going to use a card, Hans Guderian, and we're going to get a result of 2-1 or better to make that work. Declare offensive supports. We don't have any. And let's go to the next one. Die roll axis is a defender retreat. I think it wipes it out. It does. Excellent. Oh, that's a big win for us. Does that give us a victory point for that unit? It does not. But still, that's huge. Then we can advance after combat. Where can we go? I think we want to close. Actually, I'm going to make sure they do not reinforce this, but we'll... Actually, let's just stay where we are. They can't go anywhere. I like where we are. Can this guy go anywhere? No, let's just stay where we are. That's good. Yep, it's okay. Now, choose a battle to resolve. 9-3. Let's do this one here. This is 2-1. We have to attack anyway. Can we use a card? What card can we use? Cancel an enemy battle card. Yeah, let's do that if they have one coming in here. I don't think we have any other offensive supports. 2-1, let's get a good roll. We need our good rolls. 4 should be okay. Exchange. Step loss. There we go. Okay. Perfect. And that one's wiped out. Nice. Good, good. And then lastly, we have to resolve this battle down here, which is going to be ugly. 3, I think that gets us. We're going to be pushed back or counterattack. Is he going to counterattack? Oh, nothing happened. Okay, good. But we should be able to use this, wipe this unit out at the end of the turn, which would wipe out this whole pocket, which would be excellent. All right, now let's come up here and attack here, which is, oh, it's only a 2-1, 7-2. Oh, that's right, it's only 2-1. I was so certain it was going to be better. It's a little bit risky here. We don't have cards to use. We got a 6. That's excellent. On a 2-1, defender retreat. Get out of here. Good, good. Most excellent. And we can advance after combat, which we definitely want to do. Let's go, yeah, right here. Good. And we'll push this unit here, closer towards Vorozhne. Excellent. And that's done. Now, let's see if we can get Smolensk up here. 5-1 attack. Very, very good. Declare offensive supports. We don't have any. And die roll is a 6. That should be the end of them. Nice! Smolensk is ours. We are on the doorstep to Moscow. Look at this. Tula and Moscow. We can advance after combat. Let's send our infantry up here. Send our armor. We want to make sure we don't leave a hole up here, though, right? Like, if we look, this is scary up here to the north. I feel like if these units decide to mess with us, we could be in trouble. So I want to leave this armor here anyway. And we'll advance this 7-6. Let's drive them on towards Moscow. Let's drive them on towards Tula for the moment. Actually, we'll put them right here. Let's go right here. That's better, I think. All right. Okay. Progress. And Smolensk should be ours, giving us another victory point. Advance after combat. We are done. And we can detrain. Now we can play this card. Play during a Soviet. Eliminate a Soviet unit that's going to be out of supply at the end of the turn. Yes, we're going to play this. Select enemy unit to do. That's one right here. Yes. And then check. And then, does he get eliminated? It did, and it surrendered, which gives us another victory point. Look at that. We've demolished that southern front. We did have a step loss there, but we did demolish that southern front, that whole pocket outside of Odessa. They'll probably come back up and take Dnipropetrovsk again, but we are at 19 points right now, and we are how far away? Organization cards used. The Soviets are playing around right now. We'll let them play around. They've reinforced Moscow. Good move. But that was a good turn for us. I feel pretty good about that. Okay, we'll let the Soviets do their things, and I'll be back when stuff's happening. So they had a ton of reinforcements come in. We have this production problems. Random play up, reply a step loss to a just improved or replaced Soviet unit and draw a card. We definitely want to play that one. So nice. We wiped out that infantry unit. Good, that helps. But if we look here on Moscow, look at this. They have a whole horde of conscripts from the eastern part of Russia here. Maybe Siberia came in. These fresh Siberian troops pouring into Moscow to help defend it here as we go to turn 5. And so that's good. But we are at 19 points. We need 2 more points, which would mean pushing forward to the south down here. Maybe Stalino, Rostov, Vorozhne. Somehow we have a couple more points. I don't think Moscow's looking very good right now. I mean, look at this. That's a lot of defense there. Anyway, we'll sort things out. I'll be right back. Okay, so Soviets are moving. They're doing all kinds of things with these reinforcements that came in. They are building up a defense around Vorozhne. They're moving up to engage with our armor, making things a little bit more difficult. They're going to go right into Dnipropetrovsk. I thought they would. Those bastards, they took it again. Okay. We're going to come up to Kalinin. They seem to be pretty good at defending cities and making a line here. So they're taking all these reinforcements into Moscow and starting to send them different places here. I mean, this is good. They're rebuilding their line, which is kind of what you would expect them to do. Wow, they poured a ton of forces into Dnipropetrovsk, which is going to give us 18 points. We lost more points here. So they have moved up a ton of forces here. They've rebuilt their line. I mean, I think we can get Kharkov down here. This is wide open, right? And we have a ton of forces to push forward, but the question now is a matter of time. Can we regain that city? We need 3 more points. We're at 18. We've got a lot of forces to push down here. I am going to use a counter blow here to make them attack that unit. We'll burn through this card. So we're going to have to discard a card. That's fine. We'll discard this card, which was to lose a victory point to do something, and I don't want to pay a victory point to do it. So unit allocation, declare offensive supports. The Soviet, they are getting support. Nope. And hopefully they get a 3. Hopefully that will force them to... no effect. Darn it. Okay. I was hoping they would have to retreat. But they didn't. Okay. We are up to turn 5 now. Wow, this one down here is interesting. Siege artillery is cancel all effects of enemy fortifications. The reason why this one is interesting, if we were to divert forces to Sevastopol, we could use that card and perhaps take Sevastopol, which would be a huge win for us. I'm going to get us another city. So something to think about here. Okay, that's our turn. We've drawn. Let's go here. Organization for the Axis. Do we get any reinforcements? Nope, we do not. Turn 5. What are we up to now? This is January, February 1942, the back end of winter 1942. And I think we're good for organization, right? We don't get any more support here. Why not? Land movement. We still are 0 supports for the winter here. And we can only attack 3 hexes. So we have to be selective. What shall we do? Well, I think, looking at this big picture, right? I think our best bet is we've got a lot of forces here, and by far the weakest Russian resistance, the most of the Russian resistance is in the north, the weakest Russian resistance is in the south. We've got this pocket here, Kharkov, Dnipropetrovsk, Sevastopol, Stalino, and Rostov, that is relatively lightly defended. We've got a lot of forces here. I think we push on this turn, try to capture and take Dnipropetrovsk, maybe push down to Sevastopol if we can get there. We cannot. Yep, it's going to take 2 turns to get there, but we can surround this unit Dnipropetrovsk, drive on to Stalino and Kharkov, and force these units to react. Maybe we can pick these cities up. Can we get to these cities cheaply? Oh, look at that. We are so close to Stalino and Rostov with this mechanized army here. Our infantry can take it. We have to. We got to take this. Let's go. The drive to Stalino. Okay, so I'll move, and then I'll be right back. There are cards for reinforcements, I think. Okay, so attacking unit allocation. Let's come in here. Let's throw everybody at them here. We might as well, because we are going to just run up the odds here. Select attacking units. Yep. And I think now we go to our execution phase. Declare offensive supports. We do have something in here. The defender cannot play a card for this battle. Yeah, I actually want to do that because there are some cards that kind of oh, they didn't have any cards. I was dumb. They don't have any cards. They have 0 cards. Not thinking. Should have watched. Anyway, okay, declare offensive supports. We're done with that. Now we go a die roll of 6. That's got to be the end of that unit. Defensive shattered. Excellent. And Petrovsk is ours once again. How far can we advance? Just 1 hex. How about this infantry? Just 1 hex. That's disappointing. Okay, well, let's get our armor up here. Retake it anyway. It's the best. And we might as well move him up here too, so we'll grab these both. That'll give us a better chance to push on. But I'm a little worried about this army down here. Okay, that's it on that part. We've moved up, detrain, eliminate units lacking supply. I'm going to the Soviet turn for the end of turn 5. Let's see how they react to Stalino falling to the German invaders here. We do have 21 points, which would give us our victory conditions. So what we really can do now is try to hold on to what we've got, perhaps grabbing a couple more, because there might be one of those tricky events that I just don't know about that's going to take away a victory point for us. So they're going to use their cards. They're thinking. They're doing land movement. Oh, yeah, here comes some reinforcements. They're sending them in from Siberia. I think this would be a lot different if we had to continue on. Like, I don't think we would get Moscow, Stalingrad. I'm surprised that we haven't had more reinforcements. I would think that we'd get a few more troops to help us out here. Okay, so what are they going to do? It looks like they're going to try to attack Smolensk. No, they are trying to attack Smolensk. Those pesky Russians. Hold on. But we can use a counterblow there. They're defending Vorozhne. And what else are they doing down here? That can't move very far. It's only got a movement of 2. Okay. Falling back towards Leningrad. Interesting. Moving up to try to attack there. See what they do. Okay, moving into those mountains. Stopping to defend on the mountains. Moving up. I don't think they can hold Rostov if they're not going to get there this turn. We will. Are they attacking? Select. They are attacking. Okay, so we want to make them definitely do a counter blow, and we have a lot of cards to burn that we can't use. So let's do. Oh, we got anything here that we can play? I'll think for a second. It didn't give me a chance to play the counter blow. I got out of there and it moved. I think it was my fault. I think I accidentally moved it on forward there, but it didn't let me go forward. It seems to be stuck on the die roll here. Hopefully, it will sort itself out. So unfortunately, it didn't let me get that. It skipped over the counterblow phase, which is not what we wanted to. We have still forces to withdraw, so it's going to make us retreat from Smolensk, which I didn't want to do. But now it's skipping over that, and it didn't make us retreat. So I guess all that's even. So I think there's a couple bugs in there, right? So I must have clicked advance by mistake or just decided to advance. But for whatever reason, I didn't have to retreat either. And now the snow's gone and it held. So I suppose those 2 bugs kind of crossed themselves out. That might be something that needs to be tweaked as the game gets developed a little bit more. Okay, so we are at turn 6 now. This is the spring. The snow's melted. March of April 1942. Russians definitely launching a counterattack against our forces pushing to Moscow. We will need to reinforce this line for sure and think about how we can shore that up. They're also building a line down here around Vorozhne, around to the south, but we do have some pretty good forces down here, and it is mud, which means things are going to be slow. We're going to stop here for now. That plays us through the middle 3 turns. We'll be back in episode 3, the final episode, for the final 2 turns. Can we gain more ground? Could we take Moscow? Can we hold what we've got? Can we survive this Soviet counterattack in the middle? We'll all find out in episode 3. I'll put a link to it as soon as it is ready. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.